G'day ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Draw with Jazza. I'm Jazza and this video is the theme announcement and all of the rules and details for the 2017 Animation Challenge. This year's challenge has been held back for October so that it can be spooky themed to go along with Halloween. Speaking of Halloween, just so you guys know, I've just launched a brand new t-shirt on my t-shirt shop. It's themed around a creepy happy clown encouraging you to smile so you have a better day. Now it's available but for a limited time and only for the month of October. So the link is in the card and in the description. It's available in a black men's and ladies tees, a hoodie, a v-neck and a black mug. Sometimes you need to drink your coffee and remind yourself to smile, even though it's Monday. Alright, so now on to the animation challenge. If you're entering this animation challenge, make sure to go through this video a few times and absorb the information at your own pace. There's also an info page linked to in the description. If it's your first time submitting to the animation challenge or even animating, try not to be too overwhelmed and just take it slowly. But I do need to let you know that there is going to be a lot of information and specifications for you to follow and keep in mind, simply for the purposes of my being organized and judging everything on an even playing field. Bear with me, and if you make it through to the end, there's an amazing batch of prizes this year, bigger than any challenge of the month we've ever had this year, including a Mobile Studio Pro, but we'll get to that later. So the theme of this year's animation challenge is entitled Spooky Dance Party. Your entry must consist of a single animated character busting out a funky dance move. They can be a variety of different spooky creatures, from skeleton to jack-o'-lantern to minotaur or slime. It could be something cliche we all know, love and recognize, or something of your own design, but I would recommend staying away from using other people's IP. Feel free to dress them up in a bit of a funky outfit if you feel like they're going out on the town. Now, some of the basic rules are that the submission must be entered by the deadline, which is Wednesday, October 25th. There is to be a maximum of 1 entry per person, and your entry must have no sexually explicit or gratuitously violent material. Now, it is Halloween themed, so a little bit of blood or a little bit of, actual spookiness is allowed, but keep it PG-13. Now, when it comes to what program you animate your entry in, the choice is yours, and there are a large variety of paid or free animation programs you can use to submit to the challenge. I'm going to link to a video in the card and in the description with a specific time code from the first animation challenge where I went through a whole bunch of different programs as examples of what you can use. I'd rather not go through that all again in this video, but I will add on to that information that Adobe Flash changed its name to Adobe Animate, so you can go check that out. But also worth noting is that nearly all of the paid animation apps, which are generally the better ones, have free trials. So if you want to create an animation within the frames of a 15 or 30-day trial, then it's a great opportunity to try your hand at animation. Now, I will say that the program is entirely of your choice, and it can be a PC or even a mobile app if there are good mobile apps to animate on. I'm not aware of any, but I'm sure there may be. It doesn't matter what you create your entry on, you must follow all of the specifications that are about to follow in the rest of the video. Things like frame rates and aspect ratio, background colors, character positioning, all of that stuff must be adhered to no matter what program you create your entry in. Another thing to note is that I know, as there is every year, lots of people who have questions about the programs and their fit and all that stuff. So what I'm going to do is set up a forum thread on Newgrounds where you can share your works in progress and ask questions or share your problems with the community, and you can help each other out. And then beyond that, there's also this really popular thing called Google. So if you have a technical question, just type the actual question in Google and you'd be surprised. It can be really helpful. All right, so let's jump into the nitty-gritty, starting off with the technical requirements for your entry. Your piece must be animated at 30 frames per second. This is not negotiable. You can use double frames or tweens, you can use tweaked keyframes or multiple or duplicate keyframes. Just make sure it's at the 30 frames per second pace. Your animated dance move must be an animated loop, and it must be a loop that repeats from frame 60 or from frame 120. Think of it like this. The character you're animating will be dancing to a music track of 120 beats per minute. Like this. Yeah? So when you animate at 30 frames per second, the downbeats happen at every 15 frames. Therefore, your final dance loop must take place over an entire duration of either 1 or 2 bars. That means your final animation will be a total of 2 or 4 seconds of looped animation, and which of those two you want to work with is entirely up to you. If you want to be really ambitious with a much shorter timeline, you can work within those 60 frames, or if you want your loop to have a little more variation or some real ambition, you can go for the 120 frames. Now, regarding the layout of your entry, there's a bit to keep in mind here. First of all, your stage must be a 16:9 ratio, with a final submission's minimum resolution of 1280 by 720. I would recommend going 1920 by 1080 though, which is full HD. The character you animate must be central in the frame and must not touch or go past the top or bottom edges or the sides. If you want, you can have a subtle shadow under the feet of the character if you want them to feel more tangible, but I would recommend keeping it pretty minimal. And if you want the character's dance to be a little wacky or to move around in the frame, that's fine, but again, making sure they don't go over any edges and return to the central position every time the dance is looped. Next, and importantly, the entire background must be filled with one of the following flat colors. I'll show them here on the screen, and I'll include the hex codes. You can see them on the screen, but I'll also put them in the description of these 8 colors. There's a website I'll link to as well where you can convert the hex codes to RGB if you want that. And there's also an image you can download to simply color pick a color from. The point is, the background or the environment of your image must be completely flat in tone and be one of those 8 colors, not including any white or black backgrounds. You may not include any props or objects around the stage itself. You can of course have a character with a prop if it's part of their design, such as a hat or a cane, but you can't have any props or objects outside of the character or as part of the environment. You may not have more than one character in your final submission, and you may not add a gradient or any details to the background. You're also not allowed to add any lighting effects or overlays. Just make sure that the background is a plain, flat color. Once again, one of the 8 shown here and in the description. Now onto the video upload process. Your final video entry may be looped multiple times, and you can have your dance loop repeat numerous times, but I will cap the video length at 1 minute. Very importantly, your video entry must not have an intro title, an outro title, any visual anything, including text, nothing except for the animated dance loop. Audio doesn't matter, so you can put on a music backing track or have no audio or add some sound effects or whatever. The choice is yours, but it won't make any difference in the judging. And you must upload your final rendered submission to YouTube as a public video. Again, the video render must be at least 1280 by 720 in video quality or resolution. In the title of your video, you must include somewhere the word COTM open to enter the open category, or COTM beginner to enter the beginning category. You can put it anywhere in your title in brackets or with a hashtag, but just make sure that the word itself, COTM open or COTM beginner, is present and easily visible. You can have it at the start or the end of your submission. You can title your submission whatever you want, but just make sure that whichever category you enter is part of your video title. Submissions for this year's animation challenge are via email, and I must be 100% clear, you must only submit 1 email. If you submit 2 emails, you'll be automatically disqualified. If you email and ask any questions or have any requests, you'll be automatically disqualified. This email address is only to be used to send 1 email with your final entry to. I'm sorry to be so harsh, but I just have to be super rigid because of the sheer amount of entries that I deal with and the extreme difficulty of judging and curating the animation challenge. It's far more complicated than the regular challenge of the month. Man, this video is so ruly. We'll get through this. Come on, we can do this. Okay, so to submit your entry, send 1 email to animationchallenge@jazzastudios.com, sending it from the email address you primarily use, and include in the beginning of the subject line the full word COTM beginner or COTM open, then followed by the title of your animation and your name. This year's animation challenge is divided, as I've mentioned, into 2 categories. You can enter one of either. I would recommend leaving the beginner category for people who are very young or very new to art and animation. Even if you consider yourself a hobbyist and you've used an animation program once or twice, but you are a semi-experienced artist or have some natural talent, I would still tend to going in the open category direction and make sure that the beginner category is even an open playing field for total newbies. Include the following points points laid out as follows. Your full name, the name you wish to be credited as, and you can put an alias. Otherwise, if you want your full name, you can just write as above. Your age, software used, the link to your entry, and a short description of what you made, highlighting anything noteworthy from a technical or creative standpoint. Do not, I repeat, do not attach a video file to your email. Just link to the public YouTube video as I've shown above here. When you filled all that out and you're ready to enter your submission, make sure it's 100% accurate, double and triple check it, and then click send. Once again, I will be automatically filtering out people who send multiple emails. If you have any issues or concerns, please go to the community and to Google first. Okay, I feel like we've just gone through a huge whack of restrictive complications. I apologize about that. Once again, it's all about making it as smooth a process as possible. But all that being said, I'm really excited about this animation challenge. I can't wait to see your creativity. So make sure to inspire yourself and get creative rather than feeling intimidated by the rules and stuff. Just go to that info page and just make sure to refer to that as you create your animation, and just make yourself a little checklist and tick off all the boxes when you submit your piece. It doesn't need to be too complicated. It just sounds overwhelming when I'm throwing it at you right now. All right, so now let's move on to something a little more fun. Let's get to prizes. Once again, the animation challenge is divided into two categories, the open and the beginner category, both of which have separate prize pools. So whichever you enter is the prize pool you'll be considered for. The runner-up of the beginner category will receive a free copy of my Animation Foundation, available at the JazzaStudios.com shop. The Animation Foundation is a 10-hour plus video course that I've made to make animation for you super easy and straightforward, covering loads of things from the 12 principles of animation, simplicity and tweened animation to hybrid animation and complex frame-by-frame animation. There's a huge amount of stuff covered. It's designed to be program agnostic, meaning it doesn't matter what software you use, you will be able to learn from it and improve your understanding in animation and its concepts. The winner of the beginner category will receive a signed copy of my book, Draw with Jazza Creating Characters, and my go-to guide on character design, as well as a Stillman and Birn 5.5 by 8.5 Epsilon series sketchbook and a Wacom Intuos Draw tablet. The Wacom Intuos Draw tablet is the best tablet for beginners. It's got some fantastic little features and is really affordable and straightforward to use. I highly recommend it for people looking to get into art and animation in the digital world. And then on top of that, they'll also receive an item of their choosing from the JazzaStudios.com shop. Now onto the open category prizes. The open category winner and runner-up will be chosen from a pool of finalists, and all of the finalists will receive a free copy of my Animation Foundation, once again available on the JazzaStudios.com shop. All finalists will also be pulled together in consideration for your vote in the community prize pool. Meanwhile, the runner-up of the open category will receive a medium Wacom Intuos Pro tablet paper edition that has all of the amazing features of the top-of-the-line digital tablet. The Intuos Pro series is absolutely stunning, and it's also a really great device to use if you're used to traditional art, because you can so easily create traditional art drawings with the Wacom ink pen and immediately convert them into digital creations, including layers and a whole bunch of cool features that you can immediately transfer from traditional to digital. It's a load of fun, and I highly recommend Wacom and all of their products, especially the Intuos lineup. The runner-up of the open category will also receive a signed copy of the 21 Draw book, the Illustrator's Guidebook Special Edition, which is hardcover, as well as a Stillman and Birn 9x12 Epsilon series sketchbook and an item of their choosing from the JazzaStudios.com shop. And the winner of the open category will receive a 13-inch Wacom Mobile Studio Pro. These things are incredible. I rely on them so heavily, especially when I travel. Now, I do need to disclose just a couple of little details for whoever ends up winning this baby. The first is that it's technically not brand new, because this is technically one of the tablets that I used as part of my benchmarking and review of the Mobile Studio Pro lineup. So if you want to check out my review of the Mobile Studio Pro series, I'll put a link in the card and in the description. But that being said, I will format this and it will be a brand new install for whoever receives it. It's an amazing device. I can't praise them enough. I am so in love with my Mobile Studio Pro. I have the 16-inch and use it all the time. The other thing I should disclose is that the plugs that come with it are for Australia and whatever this is. Is that like European? I think it's European. So if you're from America or somewhere with a different plug, I mean, you should be able to find either an adapter or a lead that you can use to replace those with. But all that stuff out of the way, it's a freaking Mobile Studio Pro, guys. This is like the biggest single prize we have ever had in any challenge of the month ever, which is so exciting. So a huge thank you to Wacom for providing that for us. And of course, the winner will also receive an item of their choosing from the JazzaStudios.com shop. Now, as I alluded to previously, all of the finalists who aren't either the runner-up or the first prize winner will be considered for the community prize. And this is basically where I take all of the entries that blew me away but weren't the first or second prize winner. I will put it open to you guys to vote, and the winner will be announced on Twitter and on my vlog, and they will receive a medium Wacom Intuos Pro. The winners of both the open and the beginner categories will receive 1 year's full support us on newgrounds.com, granting ad-free enjoyment of the website, username changes, secret content, exclusive previews, and more. As usual, these challenges of the month are so exciting, and in large part because of the products and services provided to us by the sponsors shown on the screen here. So my many thanks to those sponsors, and my encouragement to all of you to go check them out. I highly recommend them. Please don't feel too overwhelmed. Once again, the info page is in the description, and the work in progress forum thread on Newgrounds is also a great place for you to share ideas and ask questions or help each other out. So go check those things out, but most importantly, have fun. I've animated cartoons and games for years and years of my life, and there's something quite special and really enjoyable about breathing life into still images and turning what you create with your hands into an animated, moving, breathing piece. The animation challenge that we do here every year is a chance for people who haven't tried it to try something new, for people who are experienced or hobbyists to really push themselves and contribute to something larger than themselves, and a great chance, of course, to win some prizes and get involved in the community. I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Thank you so much for watching, and the best of luck. Until next time, I'll see you later.
Make sure to subscribe to my channel to see more of my videos. And while you're at it, check out my shop where I sell ebooks, brushes, photo references, video courses, and more. There's another video you might enjoy from my channel over there, and you can also check out my behind the scenes daily vlog channel, Daily Jazza. That's it for now, and until next time, I'll see you later.